Hey everybody, it is 9:36 West and it is 12:36 in the morning on the East. I want to dedicate this show to a man I've known for 43 years, 42 years, who passed away today. And out of respect for his family, I'm not going to say his name right now, but he's been very different. Just we regularly communicate so often it isn't funny. Um, I called him, I think 4 days ago, and didn't hear from him. And I thought, I wonder if he's mad that I didn't post something on Facebook or about something I post on Facebook. And I thought, maybe he's just busy. Well, he died 3 o'clock yesterday morning. So, just the lesson here that is about the fragility of life. And how many times do we hear that, but we don't feel it until it impacts us? Uh, I it was plugged in, not here, it was downstairs, there, right? And it was plugged in as it was over here, and I said, man, because he died in his sleep, and as I said to a friend, a mutual friend, I said, I know he's pissed off. I would be. I said, just give me a sign you're around. So I unplugged this right there, okay, and as soon as I unplugged it, that entire side of my bedroom went black. All the lights went off. There was my sign. And then my computer started being weird where it was like someone had taken my cursor and they were fooling around with it. I'm not kidding you, okay? Remember, there's a lot we don't know. And we appease ourselves with this idea that, oh yeah, we've got it all figured out. But I will tell you, we really don't. Cherish your friends, cherish your family. Because you don't know when you're going to wake up one day. I got this call while I was taking a nap. You don't know you're going to wake up one day and someone you didn't ever think or associate with the idea of death is just that very person who died. And with that, I decided, in the spirit of my friend, to unleash this idea that has been in my face for a few days, a few weeks, that the Raiders just might do something crazy, which when you start to think about it is not so crazy, and draft Lamar Jackson in with their pick, okay? And oh, by the way, Crawford, thank you. Rest in peace to Greg Popovich, wife of 67 years old, and also the uh, legendary Bruno Sammartino, who was wrestling star of the 60s and 70s when I was growing up, all the way through the 80s. A physical brute who had celebrated battles. I wonder, did Bruno Sammartino, because I lived in Chicago then, did he ever take on Dick the Bruiser? Remember Dick the Bruiser and his brother the Crusher? Or anybody watching? My colleague Raiders says the Raiders organization has something against Lamar Jackson. And what is that? And Crawford says the Jackson pick would be interesting. But Machiavelli Raider, what does the organization have against Lamar Jackson? Here's why I think the Lamar Jackson idea is a possibility. Something that John Gruden did and then said to me at the NFL annual meeting. First of all, he drafted Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson is a quarterback very much in the style of Lamar Jackson, although I would argue that Lamar Jackson is a better passer than Josh Johnson. Okay? And Josh Johnson, excuse me. And I said, are you going to use him in the read option? And John gave me one of those sly answers, which basically was a yes. But then I thought, if he's going to go that far, and he's new, and he's inheriting a quarterback, at what point does John Gruden get to choose his quarterback? Right? Okay? And right? So Big April says, I feel the Raiders should draft Bradley Chubb, the outside linebacker defensive end from North Carolina State, with their first pick. I don't think Chubb is going to be there by the time they come down to Raiders. And then draft Nick Chubb around the middle of the second. And I don't think Nick Chubb is going to be there by the middle of the second. I think Bradley Chubb is going to be gone by the time by the time he comes down the Raiders. I think he's going to be gone. If he's there, should the Raiders take him or Lamar Jackson? Okay, I would take Bradley Chubb. But on the other hand, okay, now Machiavelli, I'm not even going to repeat what you said because it's not true. At all. So anyway, moving along. Plus, I don't know your real name. Remember that. So there's some people come to this and they just type things hoping that I'll say them, and then I'm not going to say them. Sorry. So anyway, because I know that ain't happening. It ain't happening at all. Not at all. So anyway, moving along. Crawford says trade back and draft Darius Geese. I don't think he'll have to do that either. You know, I said this earlier today in a video, and I'm going to say it again. Just because someone on ESPN or the NFL Network says that the quarterbacks are going to go the way they're going to go, doesn't mean it's going to happen. For example, 2011, Blaine Gabbert had as his agent Tom Condon, and Tom pumped out I swear that Tom Condon and his people at CAA Sports have a way of paying key people at ESPN to say that their guy is the best guy. Because, I'm sorry, Sam Darnold, who's also under CAA Sports, and Josh Allen are not the best. And I don't care how many times you show me a clip of Josh Allen's arm strength. My question to you is, why is it that I'm seeing this guy on a major media publication again and again and again? That doesn't happen unless he's being pushed by someone who's paying for that to happen. Okay? And they are not obligated to disclose to you who they make deals with. They're not. They just aren't, okay? So they're not, they just aren't, that's just not happening, all right? Okay? Forget it. They're not going to tell you that. But then we have Mike Mayock of the NFL Network saying that Josh Allen has made this great throw, okay? Hey, John, how you doing? Hey, John Marks, you're here. Wait a minute. Does that mean you're going to be able to join us for the draft? I got your email before, so I'm just checking. Just checking. Remember, tomorrow we have the NFL mock draft at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock in the East. And so far we've got me signed up and Joseph Bensman and I believe Thomas Peterson. I don't see him yet. We had John Marks. John said he would have to drop for reasons that are personal, but I'm wondering, hey, are you able to join us? Maybe for part of the first round? Just asking. So, Eric Souza says, I think the Browns go 1 Chubb, 4 Barkley, and then with their next pick, Lamar Jackson, he'll be there. So wait, you think that Lamar Jackson will be chosen by the Cleveland Browns? The Cleveland Browns have 2 picks in the first 4. So they don't have, all right, Lamar Jackson's not going to go in the second round. Forget it. He ain't dropping that far. Crawford said, if he drops at all, Crawford says they could go do something crazy and contact the Steelers and Le'Veon Bell availability. Eric Young, how you doing? He says, is just me, or are they always trying to convert black quarterbacks? Yeah, they're trying to convert black quarterbacks. The same conversation came up last year with Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson, in fact, all you have to do is go. You know, I recommend using Bing and not Google, okay? But I'm going to In fact, the reason why I say this is because whatever's going on with Google and their algorithm, it just isn't working. Anyway, I'm typing Deshaun Watson, wide receiver. Now, in fact, Deshaun Watson, wide receiver. Okay, so what we get is Deshaun Watson was halted by a torn ACL, and then this is about how the Texans need to give Deshaun Watson another wide receiver weapon, okay? And then already we have people saying, expect Deshaun Watson to regress in his second season. Why? I mean, why wishful thinking? Why, okay? All right? What I'm looking for right here are how people had said the same thing about Deshaun Watson prior to his being taken by the Texans. Hey, he should play. He should play wide receiver. I mean, yep, you're right. But it's with the fear, what it is, okay? I'll just say what it is in total. It is a fear of African Americans taking over management positions. Quarterback is a management position. So if you have a fellow like Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, Warren Moon in his day, Doug Williams, and more, Jacoby Brissett coming along, then there's no anointed position for the white guy, okay? And I'm saying it's a sick way of thinking, but I have spent years trying to explain away the obvious. I'm done explaining away the obvious. I'm done with that because it's wrong to have all these talented African American quarterbacks thrown by the wayside or not given a chance. Look at Tyrod Taylor, who's coming to the Browns. When Tyrod Taylor was under consideration to be drafted, Bill Polian trashed him. When he came into the Buffalo Bills, Bill Polian said he wouldn't last. He lasted. Take what Bill Polian said about Russell Wilson. Before Russell Wilson was drafted by the Seahawks, Bill Polian said that Russell Wilson would never start for an NFL team. He said that, okay? Hey, Joseph Binsman, you still on with, okay. Still on for tomorrow? John Marks has to opt out for personal reasons. So right now, Joseph, it's you, me, and Thomas Peterson, I think. It's the three of us. So I sent out an email inviting others to join in, but right now it's the three of us. So, hey, there you go. Unless, of course, John Marks, is able to join us, and we'll be the fearsome foursome. Joseph Ben says, yeah, I'm still free. All right, woohoo! So I got two. But, hey, Joseph, I need your email. What is your, can you please send me your email? Because I sent out an email today, but I don't know that you're on the list that I'm on, okay? So I need your email to get you the information. I can tell you need two things. The NFL draft order and the CBS list of the best players. Pick from there. You don't have to use it exactly. You can deviate, but it's a good guy. Big April says the Raiders need more than what we thought with all the moves Gruden has made so far. Here's the other reason why I mentioned that Gruden and McKenzie could pluck Lamar Jackson as the choice. There was an article at SB Nation that where the author talks with Dick Vermeil, the legendary coach of the St. Louis Rams, among other places. And Vermeil counted John Gruden as one of the coaches that would be a positive influence on Lamar Jackson. Think about it, okay? And Eric Souza says, just to reiterate, when does Lamar Jackson go in your opinion? The first round. Okay, you got it. Oh, you got my, okay, let me get your email here. All right, I got that. And I'm actually forwarding you right now, Joseph, the email that I sent out before. But that Lamar Jackson goes in the first round is a no-brainer. The only question is where. Could he be the #1 pick to the Browns? He could. The Browns could be throwing up a smokescreen. I mean, they already have a smokescreen. Well, we haven't figured out which one of the top 4 we're going to pick. Okay, I mean, excuse me for a second. Which is to say, do they really think those top 4 are the top 4? Or are they just saying that to appease somebody, all right? You don't know where these guys are coming from. Right? I mean, I'll never forget Blaine Gabbert's face when he realized he was not going to be the first pick, okay? I mean, I'll never forget that. He was pissed off. He knew it before the draft. He knew it before I interviewed him. You could see it on his face. He was not happy. He was salty. A little. But the dude was not... He looked like a guy who had been sold a bill of goods because, well, he had been. He had been. Okay? Let's see here. So, all right. So my point is, does Lamar... All right. Donald Trump... Somebody named Donald Trump is here, which means I'm not going to pay attention to someone who calls them that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is be prepared for the fact that I'm not going to pay attention to you because I don't know who you really are. Okay? That's out of my choice to respect the people who actually use their names. That's the way that I roll. I think the other way. I think that's heinous, man. I really do. Use your real, use your real name. You know what I mean? Just use your real name. Why do you have to do that? I don't. It's not funny. Okay. It just is not funny. All right. What am I trying to do here? Trying to send Joe Binsman an email. Now, Lamar Jackson, second round? No, that's crazy. There's no reason to believe that at all. Okay, FYI. That is absolutely crazy. Lamar Jackson is a top 10 NFL draft pick. He is, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to believe at all. It doesn't make any sense to believe that a man who's rated as one of the top 15 NFL draft prospects would be allowed to slip to the second round. But that's where he's rated. Take a look at the CBS website. In fact, you know what? I'll read it off to you. I'll read off to you the top 2018 NFL draft top prospects. Top 100, okay? And there's, okay, I don't like the SI big board because I think SI is bought and paid for. I'm going to use CBS Sports. I think CBS Sports is more honest. Just saying. Just saying. You know something? Every time I go on a live stream and if I include Las Vegas, I get double the visitors. If I don't, I get this. I think that's ridiculous. Because the only way that can happen is if YouTube has an algorithm that forces that kind of outcome, right? I don't like that at all. Bad. Ugh. Okay. Mel Kiper's big board. Let's check Walter Football. Walter Football has a great list. Well, that's their mock draft. I'm looking for top players. Let me try this. 2018 top players. And I'm trying to find that special CBS website. Why is my internet moving so slow? Ah, it's agonizing. It's agony, man. And I'm using Chrome, by the way. Big April says, in the right system, Lamar Jackson can be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He will be the steal of the draft. Yeah, unless, of course, he's taken number one. And Eric Young says, I never understood the hype for Blaine Gabbert. I did, and I'll tell you straight out what it was. It was based on race. Cam Newton was a lights-out talent. Heisman Trophy winner, people forget that, who played in 3 different offenses in 3 different years and excelled in each one of them. Most notably, Auburn's, where he became national champion under the Auburn Tigers. But his attitude at the time and allegations that were of a criminal nature, never proven, regarding theft, were magnified by media, a white media, frankly, that was predisposed to put out negative information about him. And then along comes Tom Condon and his client, the perfect foil to Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert. Cam Newton, black male. Blaine Gabbert, not only white male, but blonde. Okay? With what they call movie star good looks. Okay? They put out, in fact, there was a guy who was with USA Today at the time, gone from writing for some years now, who wrote a piece that was a magic work of veiled racism. What this person did, I'm not going to bother using his name, was to compare Cam Newton to quarterbacks like Donovan McNabb, Doug Williams. You get the idea. In other words, every quarterback that this reporter named that he compared Cam Newton to was black without saying he was black. And then he committed the ultimate sin of spewing out fake news, what we now call fake news. That is, Cam Newton plays in a spread offense, whereas Blaine Gabbert plays in a pro-style offense. Anyone who ever watched a tape in Missouri or video knows that Blaine Gabbert played in a Missouri spread offense, spread passing offense. So for this guy, who I will not name to do that, to put all that out there, meant that he wrote a piece that was deliberately racist. That he wanted to pump up Blaine Gabbert as being this ready, prototypical white NFL quarterback, and then put down Cam Newton as being a black quarterback in the mold of others like Donovan McNabb, Warren Moon, and Doug Williams. Those are the names that he used. I was posting in those days on the website of the San Francisco Chronicle, and I specifically targeted this person and called what he wrote racist. And then I saw him at the NFL red carpet that year, and I said, hey, remember that article that was written that was critical of what you put out? And I pointed at me. I'm the one who did it. Just to let him know where it came from. All right? That was the climate around which Blaine Gabbert ascended in terms of public opinion. Is it right? You know doggone well something like that's not right. It's completely wrong. Completely wrong. It is completely 1,000,000% absolutely horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Okay? Just horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. So, horribly long. All right, Pro Football Focus 100 top 100 players for the 2018 NFL Draft. And all right, so they have Baker Mayfield at number 1. This is crazy. Them Sam Darnold number 2 at quarterback. This is crazy. I mean, it's stuff like this. I look at this and I'm thinking, who's paying these people? This is absolutely awful. I mean, oh boy, they have Bradley Chubb listed 11. Oh, the insanity. You know? Oh, the insanity. I mean, that's how you have to look at it. That's how you have to describe. It's insane. It's absolutely, totally, completely insane. Totally insane. Okay. We've got. Boy, oh boy. Okay. 2018 NFL Draft. CBS Sports. And they have a prospect search. And they have prospect rankings, mock drafts, first round picks, April 17th. Oh, this is bad. Okay. They had the best. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I'm getting somewhere here. At one point, CBS had this great list of top players, and I just had it up on my computer here now. You know what happens is that too many websites use JavaScript, and in using JavaScript, it makes the pages really slow to open. And CBS has actually redesigned draft order, mock draft, prospect rankings. Let's click on that. Come on, give me something here. Okay, waiting for this to open. It's still not opening. This is bad. Okay, now it opens. Now I can scroll down. There, I got it. Okay, this is the honest one. This is CBS. This is the one that I linked to, CBS. See, it says Bradley Chubb, North Carolina State, Derwin James, Florida State, safety, Quentin Nelson of Notre Dame, Roquan Smith of Georgia, Cortland Sutton, who I believe will be going to the Dallas Cowboys, Southern Methodist, Saquon Barkley of Penn State, number 6, Maurice Hunt, Michigan, Josh Jackson of Iowa, junior corner, Mika Fitzpatrick, the Alabama free safety, Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State senior quarterback, Jair Alexander, Louisville cornerback, Darius Geese, who was on Good Morning Football from LSU, Denzel Ward, Ohio State junior cornerback, Lamar Jackson right here, Louisville, okay? Ranked number 14. So those are the NFL on CBS prospect rankings. And okay. So Lamar, why would any NFL team, anybody allow a person who's ranked that high to fall to the second round? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. This is an honest presentation. But as Crawford just wrote, those rankings, yeah, the rankings just, okay. And then Eric Souza says, yeah, Bradley Chubb number 1 in this class. Yeah. So if Bradley Chubb falls to the Raiders, they gotta take him. Joseph Bensman writes, I'm trying to remember who the defensive tackle next to Payne at Alabama was last year. You're thinking about John Allen, I believe. He was at Alabama, and he wound up going to, I believe, the Washington Redskins. Yeah. And Eric Young says Cam Newton is infinitely better than Blaine Gabbert. Right. But given the media, I was like, oh, I'll tell you the one prospect that the talking heads got right, and I got wrong. And that was Carson Wentz, because I felt Carson Wentz was overhyped, even though I ignored the obvious. Well, I didn't ignore the obvious. I noted the obvious. He played in an NFL Bill Walsh style system, complete with terminology, adjustments, the whole 9 yards, okay? And but something funny happened. The Eagles did something that teams don't normally do with a top pick at quarterback. They designed for him an offense very similar to what he ran in college. So under that condition, Carson Wentz had no choice but to excel, and excel he did. Okay? He did. Just got injured along the way. He really excelled. Now, the Texans took a note and said, we'll do the same thing with Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson excelled. The point is, a team that's smart enough to pick Lamar Jackson hopefully is smart enough to put in a system that's very similar to, but an advancement of, what he ran at Louisville. Joseph Bensman says, John Mark says, watch the Raiders take Lamar Jackson at 10. Joseph Bensman says, Deshaun Hand, that was the defensive tackle. Deshaun Hand, right. That was defensive tackle for Alabama next to Payne. He was really good at the championship game next to Payne. He was. Allen was the end. I stand corrected. Eric Young says, Carson Wentz is awesome. I quite agree. And Crawford says, John, I would not be shocked. I wouldn't either. I would not either. Definitely. I got to get my boy on here to talk NFL draft. I got to get J.A.P. Statham on. He is the noted Alabama expert that's been on my show, before. So who do you want the Raiders to pick at number 10? And who do you want the 49ers to pick at number 9 for those of you who care? Joseph Benson says Taco Charlton had a really quiet year for Dallas last year. Yeah, Dallas has not had success in drafting defensive players of late. Like Gregory a few years ago, Morris Claiborne, who I interviewed, Gregory, who I interviewed, who had the marijuana issue, from Nebraska. Wonder whatever happened to him. John Mark says, I still say they need a passing tight end at number 10. But who? Well, I think you can get a passing tight end, a receiving tight end, a good one in the lower rounds. The Raiders have, 10 or 11 draft choices? So I don't see why you spend the 10th pick on something like that. I just don't see that. Now, Sean Grogan, how you doing? Sean wants the Raiders to trade down with the Bills and take Jerry Alexander at 12 and Mo Hurst at 22. Is that what you mean? Joseph Bismuth says Dallas needs another DeMarcus Ware type. Actually, Dallas, let's see here. Let's check the NFL draft. NFL communications. Ages. NFL draft. NFL draft. Let me see something here. I should know. But I don't know. But I know. Right. Okay. What we have here is a case where the Dallas Cowboys won't pick until the 19th. Could they trade up? I don't know. Cortland Sutton is a guy the Dallas Cowboys want, but I don't think Cortland Sutton's going to be there by the time they pick. I told Reggie McKenzie at the NFL annual meeting that Cortland Sutton should be an Oakland Raider. Now, if I were picking, Cortland Sutton would be my choice. I believe Cortland Sutton has he's a unique combination of Anquan Bolden and Odell Beckham Jr. He has that. He has a fighter mentality at wide receiver. He catches the ball in a messy way. he picks up yardage. And the reason why I say messy is because the game is so fast today that you have defenders who are faster in a number of cases than the offensive players they cover. And so it makes for what I call messy football. You're not getting the clean separation between wide receiver and cornerback of years past. Now, it's a game where quite literally you have to use a back shoulder fade. You have to literally fight to get that little window or sliver where you can be able to receive the football. And then once you get the ball, you have to have enough strength and quickness to spin away from a tackle and pick up yardage, run yards after the catch. Courtland Sutton does that better than any other wide receiver I've seen. I haven't seen every single wide receiver prospect coming out, but I've seen enough to know this is the guy. I love watching him. I love watching his videos. Okay? I think Courtland Sutton will make an outstanding number 88. Yes, I did say that. But the Cowboys picked number 19. And I don't see Courtland Sutton being there. That said, it begs the question. Who would get him? Now, aside from what I told Reggie McKenzie, and I said to Reggie, I said, hey, look, last year, and I did do this, folks, last year I said to Reggie at the NFL annual meeting that he should draft Cam Robinson. He ignored me, and I reminded him of that. I said, hey, you ignored me last year. I said draft Cam Robinson. What happened? He wound up All-Pro his first year. I'm telling you this year, you should get Courtland Sutton. He started laughing. I said, hey, I'm not kidding, man. I'm going to be 2 for 2, okay? Courtland Sutton is the man the Raiders should get. Now, if Lamar Jackson is down there, I think the Raiders would select him, and I think it would be a good thing. Now, you're saying, Zinni, it doesn't make any sense. Who do you want the Raiders to get, Sutton or Jackson? I'm saying this. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to last that long. Okay? If Courtland Sutton is there, I think they should take Courtland Sutton if he's there. If Lamar Jackson falls to the Raiders, I really believe they should take him. And here's why. Here's why. Over Courtland Sutton. Here's why. Their needed wide receiver is not dire, but their need for an all-pro, game-changing wide receiver to complement Amari Cooper and Jordy Nelson is dire. We have 2 veterans. They don't have that fast rookie. These guys, the guys that are coming out now are super fast. And so if you're an NFL general manager and you're smartly managing your roster, which I hope you are, you're looking and you're saying, hey, you know what? Look at this crop of receivers. I'm getting 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s more often than not. That means I should have a roster turnover to reflect the new speed that's coming into the league. Otherwise, I'm going to get hurt by it, okay? You got to think that way. You have to think in terms of the changing nature of athletics in the National Football League. Now, Lamar Jackson is 21. Derek Carr is 27, okay? So let's think this through. The perfect situation for someone of Lamar Jackson's talent to come into is one where the coach wants to install, and he has said this, John Gruden, an offense where the quarterback is also a runner, where he contributes both with his arm and his feet 250 yards per game. Gruden has said that. Lamar Jackson is the perfect weapon to do that within that offense, learn the offense and the speed of the game, right? Behind Derek Carr. That makes E.J. Manuel expendable. It does. Or third string. We have Connor Cook as well. And we have Josh Johnson. We have a logjam. But the signal that John Gruden is sending out is that, hey, I'm going to favor speed quarterbacks who can run. I'm going to design a new system. Forget my comments about 98. I'm going to design something that's modern, that prizes a running quarterback that's effective at throwing. That's got Lamar Jackson all written all over it, even more so than Josh Johnson. So you take him, but you let him sit on the bench the first 2 years. Think about it in terms of time. We've got Carr going into, Carr came out 2014, 15, 16, 17. This is 18. This is his 5th year, okay? So Jackson comes in, he sits on the bench for the 5th year of Carr, which you hope is a Super Bowl successful year. Then you have a 6th year, which you hope with Carr is a successful year. And then you have a 7th year. And by this year, you're talking about relocation anyway. What better position to go into your new stadium? You need to sell tickets than to have your speedster, who's a crowd pleaser, who's Lamar Jackson, who is by that point the heir apparent to Derek Carr, if he hasn't by that point started already. It gives you a seamless transition at quarterback. Because think about it, Carr is 27, then 28, 29, 30. Is he going to play until his 40s? With all the injuries he's already racking up? Has Derek Carr been effective in a Tom Brady-like fashion? The answer is no. Everybody loves Derek Carr personally. Goes to Haiti, makes major contributions to society. There is no question that Derek Carr is an outstanding person. That's not even the discussion. We're talking about the business of football. And I'm making a case for why Lamar Jackson would be a great pickup. Now, Lamar Jackson or Courtland Sutton? I say Jackson, but then, I'm of a mind where if I got in that room and I took a look at where things were going, and I'd say, you know what? Do I want to have, here's the other part of me thinking, because this requires some thought. Do I want to bring him in and basically waste a pick having him sit on the bench when I can get Courtland Sutton and plug him in right away? And under those circumstances in the discussion, I pick Sutton. But those are the kind of conversations that happen in the war room, right? Those are the kind of conversations. Now, if Courtland Sutton is off the board, it's moot. If Bradley Chubb is there, hey, you got to take him. He's number one over Lamar Jackson. That's a no-brainer. I think Bradley Chubb's going to be gone. I really do. Going through this, I could see Bradley Chubb going to Denver. I could see him going to Indianapolis. I could certainly see Bradley Chubb going to Tampa Bay. I think Bradley Chubb to Tampa Bay would be an outstanding addition for that defense. I really do. I see Cleveland at number one taking Saquon Barkley. I don't see them taking a quarterback at number one. Number 4, I could see them taking Sam Darnold, although I personally wouldn't. I could also see them taking Lamar Jackson. I really could. Okay? So, let me get to your comments here. Sorry about that. Joseph Bensman says Dallas needs another DeMarcus Ware type. Sean Grogan says trade down, as I mentioned. Crawford says never say never, Sean. Raider fan says all day I will never say. I will say never. John Mark says we draft Janikowski in 2000. Raider fan all day says not going offense first round. Raider fan says yeah, that was Al Davis, not Reggie and John. Remember when Al Davis, and I was there when this happened, drafted Darius Hayward Bay. And John Mark says, okay, tight end number 10. I'm not getting this. And Raider fan says, why are we going offense? Well, my point is, Raider fan, that you think defense is a problem for personnel. I think defense is a problem for scheme. Okay? I'm going to tell you something I've said before. That was Jack Del Rio's defense. It wasn't Ken Norton Jr.'s defense, and it wasn't John Pagano's defense. That defense that Pagano and Norton were asked to be defensive coordinators of was installed by Jack Del Rio, and it didn't work. This is Paul Guenther's defense. Because John Gruden has said that he wants Paul Guenther in to run a single gap defense. He said that to me on video. He said that before. Boom. Okay. So Eric Susan wants Roquan at 10. And I Roquan Smith at 10 to the Raiders. Do I want that? No, I don't. I don't want Roquan at 10. I would rather have Courtland Sutton than Roquan Smith. And again, the reason is that I am of the firm belief that the Raiders' defense was terribly designed. You're asking people like Eddie Vanderdoes to two-gap in the National Football League and wasting his talent and quickness along the way. Bad, okay? Eric Souza says something. I agree. Tape don't lie. Tape don't lie. This will be a great debate. All right. So what does the consensus want? There's a number of you on here. If you want the Raiders to go defense in the first round, give me a D. If you want offense, give me an O. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. I'm rating. I'll start out by saying O equals offense. Sean Grogan says D. So we got a D. There's another D. Another O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard is gone. O.J. Howard was with the Bucks. John Marks, you're kind of off. Where are you looking at, man? Joseph Benson says D. Eric Souza says D. Man, I'm getting outnumbered here. I'm the only O there's around. Oh. John Marks says O. Thank you, John. That's a friend for you. I'll bail him out. Sort of. Anybody else? Because not every one of you was responding. Come on. Just stop looking. Participate. Are you a D or an O? Raider fan all day says D. All right. Who else? Come on. Eric Souza says trade him be good. Trade for him be good. Okay. I know you said, but you already said D. Allah said D before. Raider fan all day says solidify the defensive line with Vita Vea, or trade back for Hurst, or get Roquan if the chop corners are available. Why are we trading back? Number 10 is a great place to be. We have money problems. Why are we trading back? Malcontent says Z. I just got here. What's the question? Should the Raiders go D or O in the NFL draft first round? I say O. Others say D. What say you, Malcontent? D or O? I want O. But what I want most of all is for all, 19, 16, 20 of you to give me your answers. As Sean Groves says, only offensive player I take is Saquon Barkley in the first. Can you imagine Barkley? I cannot see a scenario where Barkley falls to 10. That would be criminal. It would be great for the Raiders, though. Jordan Yancey says, D. Jordan, how you doing? The D's outnumber the O's. Raider fan all day says, because if Patriots are jumping for a quarterback, you can get Hurst, who is considered better than Vea before his issue at the combine. Okay, I see that. Raider fan all day says, and get more picks. So basically, you want to trade with the Patriots, which right now have 2 picks. So the Patriots move up, and maybe they take Lamar Jackson. That's been the discussion. If the Patriots take Lamar Jackson, the NFL can basically forget about any other team winning the Super Bowl for the foreseeable future. Between Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson, the Patriots would have the league sewn up. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. Bill Belichick teaching Lamar Jackson? Are you kidding me? Whew. Wow. Sean Grogan says, I don't believe he drops either. Sean says, I like Hurst better than Vita Vea. Why? You really? I like Vea's sideline to sideline pursuit. Some of you like Hurst for his bulldozer play, but in terms of someone who can just chase down read option quarterbacks and running backs, I want Vay. Sideline to sideline, that guy can fly, man. Woo! And that's what you need at defensive line today. Malcontent says, are you asking what the Raiders will do or should? I'm saying should. This is all a matter of should. Sean Grogan says, Vita is a run stuffer. Hurst gets to the QB. See, I want a run stuffer because if I ask my run stuffer to single gap, I can train him to get to the QB, okay? I can train him to do that. So that's my thought. Raider fan says, get the Patriots 2 picks. That means we get 3 picks in the top 42, gives us more options. Assuming, of course, the Patriots trade with us, which could happen. Which, by the way, I want to announce. Most drafts don't have trades, right? I know that's a mock drafts. When you do this, I'm having trades. So if you see an opportunity where you represent a team you think that they can trade, do it. But I'm only allowing 1 trade. Well, whatever. I'm only allowing 2 trades for everybody. And the reason is I don't want people to come in and, oh, that team is trading, this team is trading, because realistically you don't have that. For every trade proposal, someone has to accept the trade. But if you have people in a mock draft trading all the time, it implies that these teams are just going to accept these trades, and they're not. The best way around that, establish a quota. I'll put that in the rules. 2 trades for the first round. The question is, what trades? Okay, 3 trades. The question is, which ones? 3. Because that's about the average, 3. Remember the Chicago Bears trade that brought Mitch Trubisky to the Bears? Oh, boy, yeah. Who was Mitch Trubisky's agent? Let me see that. Mitch, M-I-T-C-H, Trubisky. Who is his agent? Let's see here. His agent was never say. Bruce Tollner. Who I met. I like Bruce Tollner. Bruce Tollner and Ryan Tollner are good guys. They're good guys. The Tollners had Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Okay. I was very happy for them. Very happy for them. And their father was none other than the legendary Ted Tollner, from offensive coordinator at USC. And Sean Krogan says, what about when the Saints traded every pick for Ricky Williams? Oh, had to remind me of that one. Malcontent says the Raiders need an inside rusher. But hey, here's the question, Malcontent. Is it D or is it O? I'm asking. Again, we got maybe 6 or 7 people answering, but that's only half the contingent. Come on, the rest of you. Do you want the Raiders to go D or O? Do you care? Or if you don't care, tell me what team you care about. Not everybody has. Okay, Malcontent says D. All right, D. I say, to reiterate, O. O. As in Cortland Sutton with a big O. All right. A Lava says, what position in your O? Wide. Well, it's not so much position, it's player. I believe in drafting the best. I believe in drafting the best. The best athlete available. I did say that. So that's why I say if you have Lamar Jackson fall to you, you have that discussion. Is he a better athlete than Cortland Sutton? Now, on the CBS board, the answer is no. Okay? But is he the kind of guy that's going to tear up the league? And then do you ask this question, do I make a defensive pick? That is, do I draft best athlete available to keep one of the best athletes away from the rest of the NFL? You say, yeah. Do I make a sign and trade possibility? Maybe. Maybe. What are you going to get for him? Okay. Could happen. Okay. He may not like it. Could happen, though. Could happen. Sean Grogan says, I would just as disappointed in the Raiders when they take Sutton at 10 as when he took Darius Hayward-Bay over Crabtree. Cortland Sutton is worlds better than Darius Hayward-Bay. I remember that. I was at the NFL draft. We had, in fact, you go to, you're already here at Zenny62. Open up another page, Zenny62 on YouTube, and type Darius Hayward-Bay, and you will see what our reactions were then in 2007 at the NFL draft at Radio City Music Hall in New York. Myself and my friend Bill Chackus were covering the draft at the time. You see that, okay? Darius Hayward-Bay had a number of issues. He did not have the kind of video tape that Sutton does. So no, absolutely not. Cortland Sutton at number 10 will be outstanding for the Raiders. Absolutely, end of story. End of story. John Mark says, and Crabtree at the time didn't want to go to the Raiders. Okay. Cortland Sutton, yeah. Cortland Sutton is the man. Definitely the man. And when I mentioned them, I will say this. When I mentioned Sutton to Reggie McKenzie, he said, I like Cortland. He likes him. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Could happen. And yeah, as John Mark said, Cortland Sutton could fall to the Raiders. Yeah. But that said, who might take Sutton? What do the draft board say among, aside from me and my big mouth, what are other people saying? If I go to NFL.com, what do I get? I know what I'm going to get, but I'm going there just to piss myself off. And it's like, pissed off. Here's why, folks. This is why I'm pissed off. Look at this. Ta-da. Who is that? Who is emblazoned on the front of the website? Who the frick? What the heck is this? All right. Josh Allen. How fast can Josh Allen throw? Why am I seeing this? This is a promotion for Josh Allen. Someone in the NFL is paying for this guy to be promoted in this way. I'm sorry. This is wrong. Why don't they have a video on and an article on how Lamar Jackson can bring speed to the quarterback position, all right? This is bad. Look at this stuff, okay? All right? Ugh. I said in the video earlier, hey, are you guys paying? Look at this, okay? What's trending? Geo Power Rankings. Natural. All right, now, looking for what I got so pissed off, I was looking for a mock draft here, all right? Let me find it. Let me find the mock draft. Oh, Power Rankings, path to the draft. Oh, here, draft. Right there. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, boom. Draft news, Dez replacement. I just want slide in store for Rosen, okay? Slide out of the top 10, all right? Rosen looking to slide, all right? Jackson Von Miller, tracking team's interest in top prospects. Actually, you know what? This is interesting. Let's see what we find here. Okay. This is this is the report. Buffalo Bills first round spot. Hold on a second. Here we go again with the JavaScript. Man, oh man. All right. AFC East. Scout market, Baker Mayfield. First round spot for the Bills. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Rashawn Allen's at linebacker, Josh Jackson at cornerback, Lamar Jackson at quarterback, Harold Landry, Baker Mayfield, DJ Moore, Dana Pitts, John Schrozen, Mason Rudolph, Leighton Vander Esch, Denzel Ward. Now, let's go and check on your Oakland Raiders. That's for the Bills. We go over to AFC West. We click on AFC West like that. We hope the AFC West page changes, and it does. And here we go. All right, and then we scroll down. Scrolling down, checking the AFC West interests and prospects. And we scroll, and we scroll, and we scroll, and we scroll. And there's the Denver Broncos with Josh Allen, DJ Clark, James Daniels, Sam Donald, Lamar Jackson. Report Jackson met with Broncos at Combine. Ronald Jones. And here's Kansas City. They had Jair Alexander, Colin Davis, Dante Jackson, Anthony Miller in Los Angeles Chargers. Josh Allen meets with Chargers. Sam Donald, Dallas Goddard, Lamar Jackson, Chargers offensive coordinator meets with Jackson after pro day. Ooh, Malik Jefferson, and the Oakland Raiders, number 10. Top prospects: Terrell Crosby, Malik Jefferson, and Vita Vea. All right, all right. So at the combine. The Raiders are not known for giving away their moves. They have people guessing about all kinds of stuff, okay? That's the Raiders. Which means Lamar Jackson. Eric Young, what say you? E. Lava says, how can you go on O when you know they're de-stunk over the years? I'm going to repeat this again, okay? It's very simple. Your offense or defense is only as good as what your players are told to do. That means the plays. When the Raiders ask their defensive linemen to two-gap, what that means is this. I want you to pay attention to this, okay? I want you to look right at this screen. Look at me. Look at me right here, okay? What it means is that I'm a defensive lineman, and I've got this big offensive lineman who's trying to push me off, and yet I've got to worry about holding ground against this person that can bench press, in some cases, almost 1,000 pounds, leg press 1,000 pounds and more in some cases. And I've got to figure out how to keep this person at bay and then shed this person's block if the running back goes this way, or try to. But then so I try to shed the block thinking the running back is going in this direction and the running back goes in that direction. And I'm assigned two gaps, so I'm really screwed. That's the situation the Raiders put their defensive linemen in. But if I'm single gap, as Gruden wants with Paul Gunther, I only go here. I don't have to worry about going someplace else. So if I'm quick enough to get around this big bruiser of offensive guy, guess what I can do? I don't have to hold him. I can just, I don't have to hold position with him. I can fake sidestep, go around him this way, get in the hole, pursue the runner through the hole. I can put my quickness on display and leave the offensive line guy flat-footed, okay? It's a big difference. You haven't seen the Raiders' talent under that scheme. So don't say to me, oh, they're automatically bad. And what I get tired of at 55 years old is how many people still don't get the marriage between what a player does and what a coach asks the player to do. It's always what the coach asks the player to do. And that explains why a John Gruden can come in to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and put them into the Super Bowl within a year. His first year, he did that. It wasn't just his voice and personality. It was scheme change. It was putting Joe Jurevicius, the 6'3", 214-pound wide receiver whose style and play was very much at the time like Jordy Nelson, in a situation where he could be effective catching passes over the middle and crossing patterns, among other examples. And they're designing that around a bruising running game with the running backs he had, Mike Alston, okay? So, play design is something you have to learn. I understand some people get, oh, it's too complicated and all this. Your brain can handle it. You'll be just fine, all right? You'll be just fine. Sean Grogan says, I would grow a ponytail if we took Jackson or Sutton. I would love to see you grow a ponytail. John Mark says, oh no, Josh Allen. Eric Young says, personally, I'm leaning heavy toward defense. Personally, I'm leaning heavy toward best athlete available. John Mark says, John Gruden won with Tony Dungy's players. That's exactly my point. He had Tony Dungy's players doing things that they weren't doing under Tony Dungy. But he was smart. He did Gruden, Monty Kiffin as the defensive coordinator. John Gruden was smart enough to know how to leave well enough alone. He turned his attention to the Buccaneers' offense and made it effective. Corvette said, San Jose Sharks face Mark Davis Golden Knights next round. Ooh, regional war. Gotta focus on that. Muhammad Ahmed, how does Lamar Houston fit with Raiders defense if he signed? That's a good question. I think the question is, let's take a look at Lamar Houston and find out how he's changed. I've interviewed, if you take Lamar Houston, I want you to do this. Type Lamar Houston and then Zenny62 and you will find this. Okay. You will find right here. Boom. 2010 NFL Draft, second round pick. Okay. In fact, let's click on that. History. Take that away. Skip it. Skip the ad there, okay? Skip the ad there, okay? Put that on mute. That's Lamar Houston. Hey, Lamar, welcome to Oakland. You been to Coliseum before?
I used to live in San Francisco. It's a Candlestick Park and stuff. So I haven't actually been to the Raiders facilities yet. But I grew up, my brother-in-law was a huge Raiders fan, so I've been watching the Raiders for a long time. And I'm very excited and happy to be part of the organization and make a change right away.
What do you think of the Raiders?
Yeah, this is a...
So basically what I'm showing you, among other things, is the person who baptized Lamar Houston in terms of meeting me. You just heard my voice. I have made more NFL Draft YouTube videos than any other single person or media outlet. 14 years covering the draft straight away. First to cover the YouTube channel in 2006. If you didn't know that, you know that now. So I have this to say about Lamar Houston. I always thought Lamar was a little small for a defensive end. And quick, no question about it. But now he's older. And I think what he has to demonstrate is that he's stronger. Because I have 2 interviews with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Houston. Bzzz, up on Zenny62, which you can look at. That being the longest one, okay? So, and this is an answer to you, Muhammad. I think Lamar's got to prove that he's at least, he's twice as strong with the way the league has changed. He's got to prove he can shed the block of that big offensive tackle. Okay. That's what he's got to do. And uh, that's what he has to do. I think it's sad that has to get a new tryout. Oops. Oh boy. Sorry about that, folks. Stuff happens. What happened was the cord here got cut. See that? My bad. I shouldn't have let that happen. But it happened. Okay. I was trying to manipulate that speaker. Ouch to you. Sorry about that. Anyway, now I'm saying Lamar Houston and Lamar Houston, boom. Raiders kicking the tires on former second-round pick Lamar Houston. He was defensive tackle with the Bears. 30 years old, weighed 274 pounds. And so that was, let's see what he's back in Oakland. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for his stats, okay? Free agent, he's 30 years old, San Francisco, California. He played his college ball at Texas, as we know. Professional career. Let's see here. Oakland Raiders, Chicago Bears, Houston Texans. He signed with the Texans. He was waived on November 28th of last year. And he was picked up by the Bears for his second stint. He appeared in 5 games and recorded 4 sacks during his second stint, which isn't bad. He had almost a sack a game. I think what he has to prove is that he can contribute and be the anchor for the Raiders on the right side. And at 274 pounds, it sounds like, just as I look at it, well, if you sign him to I would sign him to a veteran minimum and give him a chance to prove himself. If a Bradley Chubb falls to me at 10, I take him. My desire is to go younger, but look, he signed with the Bears. He had 4 sacks in 5 games. He was effective, without question. You can't turn that away, okay? You can't turn that away. But I want him as a wily, crafty veteran. You can't have too many of those. You have to have younger players. So yeah, I'd sign him. I'd give him a shot. Why not? It's not a matter of taking a chance. He's a proven veteran. He really is. So, and again, he had 5 games, which you can't. He had 4 sacks with the Bears in 2017, 1 with Houston. For that, whatever happened between Houston and Chicago, he went to Chicago and performed. With Houston, not so much. But then if you think about the depth, right? Houston had J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, right? Among others. Chicago, they gave him a starring role. He was effective in that role, and then they cut him, presumably because of age. I have to do more research there, admittedly. But Lamar Houston, definitely I'd sign him. I'd give him, I'd offer him, I'd give him an offer, not quite, a little above the veteran minimum. I have to review what he got in Chicago, see if I want to deal with that. And then I pull the trigger. Okay? And then I pull the trigger. But I would have to have an overall plan that says, okay, I want to go younger my defensive line. A 30-year-old is not going to get me there, but he'll be my wily, crafty veteran, and around him I'll be building a nucleus of younger people. But his size, 274, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Now, John Marks, you guys are talking about something. Eric Young says Khalil Mack needs a lot of help. Yep, he does. And John Marks says Sharks won a Mark Davis Golden Night barbecue. So, Muhammad, I hope that answers your question about Lamar Houston. I want to do a little bit more research. Hey, there's 17 of you tonight. Who else will participate in the draft? It's tomorrow. I haven't even seen Thomas this time around. So right now, it looks like it's just me and Joseph Binsman. Just the two of us. That's okay. That'll be fun. Hey, the rest of yous can watch us play Draft Nick. Anybody else want to join in? Muhammad says they cut him in Chicago because he wasn't healthy after tearing his ACL. He tore after celebrating a sack on Jimmy G from the Pats. Heck, I would too. Well, that's great though. So look, he tore his ACL, but he tore it celebrating. Okay, fine. But let's consider this. He tore it doing what? Sacking the quarterback. Take a look at the number of times he sacked the quarterback when he was with the Bears. 4 in 5 games. Pretty good. A sack a game. I mean, look, let's face it. He's not producing Adrian Claiborne level numbers. If he was, he would be on some team. Adrian Claiborne had 6 sacks against the Dallas Cowboys last year for the Atlanta Falcons. All right. So, all right. It is 77 minutes into this, 1:53 in the morning, almost 2. I'm going to stop at 2 o'clock. So we got to get rest. Got to get rest. Okay? So a steady nucleus of people watching. I like this. So John Marks, you're not going to join us, but you're up late? Oh, man. Jeez. Easy thing, but I understand. Again, if you change your mind, it'd be so fantastic. It'd be so stupendously good. You know, if you can. If you can. Donald Richardson. Hey, Donald, why not participate in our NFL draft tomorrow? What say you? Donald just checked out. He's like, no. Work. No. It's not work. It's fun. It's fun. I think Donald Richardson really did bail on us. Did you? Participate in our draft if you're around. What's in it for everybody? Bragging rights. Constant exposure on a live stream that plays over and over and over again for whoever happens to fire it up. That sort of thing. A great mark of an event 1 week before the 2018 NFL draft. Still not biting it. All right, fine, whatever. Okay. All right, whatever. I'm not hurt. Hey, welcome to Zenny62. The two of you have just come on. I'm looking for more people to participate in our first annual Zenny62 Live NFL mock draft tomorrow, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. Game? Please say your game. Can't hear ya. Edgar Mendez. Is it Mendez or Mendez? Hey, ML Scott. Hey, ML. You want to participate? Like, I send you the email and you have a position and I give you the position? Because if you're in, I'll plug you in right now. Okay? Hey, Barry Lee. ML, you say that's a deal? All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to plug you in as number 4, okay? So basically, in terms of the draft order, you will have, let's see here, NFL Draft 2018 order, okay? You will have, Joseph Binsman has his New York Giants. He's number 2. I'm number 1. I've got the Browns. Binsman has the Giants. I haven't heard from Thomas Beltran. So you'll have the Jets, okay? Unless Thomas Beltran comes in, he has the Jets, and then you have the Browns at number 4. So you have, the way it goes is that you have ML. I'm gonna, since I haven't heard from Thomas Beltran, you have number 3, okay? So it's you, Joseph Binsman, and myself. So it's gonna go like that, all right? So I'm gonna go, and the order is gonna go like this. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be 1, Zinni, Abraham, 2, Joseph. Hey, good night, Crawford Binsman. 3. 3 would be ML Scott. And hey, ML, do you have are you on Skype? Because I'm gonna have you talk it out. I'm not gonna just type it, but talk it. You're on Skype or call in? Are you on Skype? Because I know Joseph Binsman sent me. Joseph, did you send me your information for Skype? Did I get that? I got it for John Marks, but I haven't got it for you. So I need it for both of you guys. I need your Skype info or your phone number. If you're not on Skype, give me your phone number and just call you. And just make 2 dual calls and we have a conference call, okay? So you don't have to be on Skype for me to put you on Skype. But I do need your phone number, okay? Hello? All right, so ML says, yeah. I think I might have to email you my number, says Joe. Yeah. You got to fix the login. If you have it, just give me your phone number. Same email? Okay, cool. If you have it, just give me your phone number. Both of you just email me your phone number, and then you don't have to worry about the Skype techniques. That you leave that to me, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you before we start, okay? Cool, yeah. So just send me your number, and I'll call you both before we start. We'll go over, our notes and everything, and then I'll start the stream, right? And we'll go forward. So I want this to be as easy peasy as possible. Don't want you to worry about anything other than what you're going to say, who you're going to pick. That's it. Okay? Cool. All right. So I'm about to close out. It's 2 o'clock. Both send me your email tonight if you can remember to do that. All right? I want to thank everybody for another fantastic, rousing live stream, which I don't believe is being sent out by YouTube as much as it should. I think they're playing some shenanigans with my numbers. I can't prove it. It's not a restricted mode thing, but I do think some people don't get the notifications like they should when we start, right? I don't think they want me to be very big at all. I've got to fight them. Yes. Okay. So I close this in memory of my friend. Sad day for me. Very sad. As John Mark says, you can bet your last money